Hi, I'm Rachel Collins, the Happy Mummy Health Coach, and today I'm talking to you about the 8 simple steps you can take to reducing the symptoms of depression without the use of drugs. Today I'm talking to you about the new take on anxiety and depression, and if you're looking for an alternative way to manage your anxiety and depression symptoms, then this video is absolutely for you. This can, however, be a really emotive subject, and it may be that you feel like your antidepressants have literally saved your life. If you feel like it would trigger you or upset you if anyone was to suggest that maybe the drugs aren't as useful as you believe them to be, then please feel free not to tune in to the rest of this video today. Almost everyone nowadays would describe depression as like an imbalance of hormones or a lack of serotonin. And actually, that's what I was taught at university. About 10 years ago, I did my psychology degree, and we were all taught that depression was a neurotransmitter imbalance. But what I hadn't been told at the time was that while the studies showed that the drugs that helped balance neurotransmitters reduced the symptoms of depression, there weren't any studies that showed that the cause of the depression was the neurotransmitter imbalance. Now, they use these kinds of studies a lot in psychology because we don't understand fully how the brain works. And quite often, the only way we can understand how something works is when it doesn't work. And we, when we were learning about what different parts of the brain did, the only way we could work out what they did was to look at what happens when that part of the brain stops working. So they were called lesion studies. So if somebody had an accident and a pole went through a certain part of the brain, or they got shot and they had a bullet wound in a certain part of the brain, they would look at what stopped working. So, you get shot in the head, this part of the brain goes and your arm stops working, you assume, well, that part of the brain must be responsible for that arm. And, common sense says it maybe isn't that simple, but it was the best information we had to go on at the time. And when it comes to depression, the fact that antidepressants worked, we had to kind of infer some ideas around why they worked. And the idea that came to light was the serotonin theory. If these drugs are balancing our neurotransmitters, balancing our serotonin levels, and that is making us feel happier, then it must be that depression is caused by an imbalance in serotonin. Well, actually, new research is showing that these drugs worked purely, and they do still work purely, on placebo effect. That's quite a big statement, isn't it? Let me explain a little bit more. So we know that around 30% of the effect of any drugs is a placebo effect. 30% is placebo effect. And they take that into consideration now when they do all clinical trials, because they know that 30% of people will find improvement in their symptoms even if the drug doesn't work. And I think that is a fascinating thing in itself. That just shows the incredible capacity the body has for healing based on your belief system. Now, I think that needs to be researched way more. Fascinating stuff. But anyway, there is this theory now that antidepressants are pretty much completely successful because of the placebo effect. And I'll tell you a bit about a study as to why. So the recent study took a group of people who self-reported to say that these antidepressants had changed their life. They would even go as far as saying these antidepressants had saved their life. And they were told that they were going to enter into a clinical study and that their drugs would either continue as normal or, unknown to them, be replaced with a placebo. And the results are actually fascinating. So what we would expect if the drugs were working is the people who stayed on their drugs stayed fine and happy, and those who were taken off and given a placebo would have a return of depression symptoms. Well, what we actually saw was that everybody had a return of depression symptoms. And for me, that just shows that the beliefs we have around what these drugs are doing are incredibly powerful. And as soon as you question the belief, as soon as you start questioning what these drugs are doing and their effectiveness, they stop working. So if it isn't a case of hormonal imbalance in the brain, what is causing depression? Well, the latest theory, and it is still a theory like the serotonin theory was, is the cytokine theory. Now, cytokines are molecules that our body produce as an immune response. So, and they're caused by inflammation in the body. Now, we know that inflammation is our body's way of telling us there's something wrong. And the cytokine theory says that inflammation is the root cause of depression. Now, I love this theory because it connects the brain, the gut, the immune system, and it says that our emotional health is intrinsically linked. It's completely connected with our physical body. And it also tells us that depression isn't a disease in itself. It is not the diagnosis. Depression is a symptom that there's something else going wrong. So if the root cause of depression is inflammation, we need to focus not on balancing our serotonin levels or getting more serotonin in the brain, but we need to focus on fighting inflammation. So what are the simple steps that you can take to feeling happier, to managing your depression symptoms? Really, focus mostly on nutrition. And that's wonderful because anyone can do this. So whether you are taking antidepressants and you're looking for a way to ease the symptoms without having to up your dosage, or maybe you're even trying to find a way that you can reduce the drugs that you're taking, this can help you. Maybe you don't feel that you need to be clinically diagnosed as having depression. You don't want to go to your GP, but you're just feeling a bit down and you want to feel a bit happier. This is absolutely perfect for you as well. And everyone in between those different stages. You can't go wrong with improving your nutrition. So it's all perfectly safe to make you feel happier. So what are the steps? Number 1, cut the crap. High sugar foods, processed foods, junk foods all increase inflammation in the body. You need to cut them out. It's as simple as that. We know the healthiest diet that you can have is a whole foods plant-based diet. Now, plant-based doesn't mean vegetarian, it doesn't mean vegan, it doesn't mean you're not allowed any animal products. What it means is that you focus on the plants on your plate. You create meals around the plants. Don't focus on the meat. Don't say, oh, well, I've got chicken, what can I do with it? Say, I've got carrots and broccoli and kale and spinach, and what can I create with that? So focus on the plants and cut out the crap. Now, if you're worried about how to do that, I've actually put together 3 days worth of recipes. That's breakfast, lunches and dinners for 3 days that you can download for free. So just click the link below this video and you can download those recipes. I'll email them over to you. The second thing you need to do, step 2, is to balance your blood sugar. And this means that you need to be having a high fat, high protein diet. When your blood sugar is balanced, that tells your brain, it signals to your brain that you are not in an emergency situation. And that's really important for reducing inflammation in the body. Step 3, identify any food intolerances. Now, food intolerances lead to leaky gut syndrome and they are also a cause of inflammation. And actually, this is one of the reasons that my mums do so well on the Happy Mummy Cleanse. It's because we identify the trigger foods, the foods that are upsetting your body and causing dis-ease. And they're the ones that are causing inflammation. Now, there is a difference between food allergies and food intolerances. You probably know if you have a food allergy. You know if you can't have peanuts. You know if you are allergic to milk. But you might not know if your body has an intolerance. Or you may not be paying attention to it. You might know that there are certain foods, if you eat them, you feel a bit sluggish, you feel bloated, your energy levels drop. Maybe you get a bit of a headache. They're all signs of intolerance. and they are all causing inflammation in your body. They're all flaring up an immune response, creating cytokines, which then are causing depression symptoms. The fourth step, again, it's another nutrition one, add in antioxidants. Now, antioxidants fight free radicals. Free radicals are another cause of inflammation. You can get antioxidants in loads and loads of plant-based foods. Berries are really, really high in them, and they're a yummy, yummy thing to add into your diet. The fifth one, it's not nutrition-based. Check your thyroid, or go and get your thyroid checked. Lots and lots of women have thyroid problems that are causing symptoms, and they don't really connect the dots and understand that it could be a thyroid problem. So if you've tried everything else in particular and you're wondering why on earth you're still feeling down, get your thyroid checked out. Number 6, sounds a bit bizarre. I want you to detox your environment. Stop using toxic cleaning products and stop putting nasty cosmetics on your body that are full of toxins. Toxicity in your environment is causing inflammation in your body. It's as simple as that. Number 7 is move more. It's so good for your body. I'm not going to go into the detail of why we all need to exercise more in this video. It's, way too much information there for this video. But yeah, move more. We all need to be moving more. And finally, number 8 is meditation and breath work. Again, this is something I've worked into the Happy Mummy Cleanse, because reducing your stress levels, being able to take control of that monkey mind and all that chatter and calm your body down, switch off that fight or flight response with meditation or breathing or whatever it is that works for you. It's incredibly important for reducing the stress response and therefore the inflammation response in our body. There are a couple of supplements that you can try as well. Firstly, I want to mention turmeric, or more specifically the curcumin, which is in turmeric. You can take a turmeric extract, and this actually in studies has proven to be as successful as Prozac in terms of managing your symptoms. So I would recommend you can take around 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams twice a day as a turmeric or curcumin supplement, and that it doesn't have any other there's no known problems with any other medications, and it is safe as if you're breastfeeding. So if you're suffering with a little bit of postnatal depression, it's perfectly safe in breastfeeding. There are no studies so far that have looked at the effects in pregnancy, so always check with your midwife before adding anything in pregnancy. The other supplement that I recommend to all of my clients, which is a great way of adding antioxidants into your body, is a whole food fruit and vegetable concentrate. So we know that the best source of antioxidants is fruits and vegetables. Most of us aren't eating enough of them, so we need to, it's really good to add in a concentrated fruit and vegetable supplement, and there's a specific one that I recommend to all of my clients. It's been clinically proven to reduce inflammation, so just send me an email if you're interested in finding out more about that. So there are a couple of other things that you can add in. St. John's wort is another herb that is widely known for helping with depression symptoms. And if anxiety is more of a problem for you, then magnesium is a really, really helpful mineral to add in. You can buy a magnesium oil spray, or another helpful way of using it is having it in the bath. That's a really, really nice way of doing it. So a cup of Epsom salts in your bath in the evening and soak for 20 minutes or so. Magnesium absorbs really well through the skin, so it's a really, really nice way of taking it. You can take a tablet as well. When your body's in balance, psychiatric symptoms tend to disappear. You weren't born broken. Your body's ability to heal is amazing when it's well nourished. So if you would like to give this a go, Remember, I've put together 3 days of recipes for you. That's breakfast, lunch and dinner for 3 days. So just click the link below the video and pop in your email address and I'll send that over to you. If you want to try adding in the antioxidant supplement, the fruit and vegetable concentrate, then just send me an email, rachel@rachelcollins.co.uk, and I can get that organised for you. These supplements are now available in over 20 countries around the world, so I'm pretty sure I can get them to you wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching Happy Mummy TV today. I hope you found this content useful, and please do share this with other mummies. You never know when somebody else might need some help.